Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward with Robin show. We are here located at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia, and I'm here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network. I am so very excited. We have some amazing guests that are going to be on my show today. We have got Crux Conception, who is going to share with us about corruption behind the blue wall, talk about his chapters in his new upcoming book that's going to be coming out soon, and about being a world traveler as well. We also have the Love Coach Atlanta in the house, which is Kelvin Johnson. And we have guests in the studio, and they're ready to hear what he has to share about love, relationships, about loyalty, trust, dishonesty, the whole works. So, guys, make sure you share this page. Also, get your seats, get your wine, get your coffee, get your tea, get whatever you need to be able to be a part of this show and share with your girlfriends or your guy friends and learn something today. I want to go over with you about some of the sponsorships that are offered with the Focus Forward Robin show. My very first sponsor that I have is Heart of the Carolinas, which is very personal to my heart because it's a home care service located out of Malden, South Carolina. And what we do here at the Heart of the Carolinas, we are an organization that helps senior citizens to be able to stay in the comfort of their own home. Maybe it's your mother, or maybe it's your grandmother or your grandpa who needs assistance with going to the doctor and they need help with their medicines, or maybe just that TLC touch to be able to stay in the comfort of their own home. All you got to do is message me and I will hook you up with the right representative to be able to get service for you. Another sponsor that I have is Miss Tangi Roseborough. She is with her magazine called Pain to Purpose, and I'm a contributing author out of that magazine. The upcoming magazine for this fall is going to be so amazing because it's going to be featuring special people in it that have overcome domestic violence. There's going to be articles in there that you do not want to miss. So make sure you connect with me to be able to get plugged in to get a copy of that magazine. And another special magazine that I am a new article writer for, and I'm so excited, and it's Your City Magazine with Miss Beverly Vircher. Now, she's located out of Spartanburg, but she travels around, and she's using me to write articles for her magazine. So if you have a business and you've been married for more than 10 years with your business, we would love to be able to interview you, and I would love to be able to write an article about your story, why you're in business together as a couple. All right, well, we're going to take a brief break, and when I come back, we're going to have my very first guest on the show, and he's going to talk about his why story of why he's called Love Coach Atlanta, and then we're going to dig in with some questions for him. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining in to the Focus Forward with Robin show. I am so excited. Today is going to be a fantastic show. We have got Kelvin Johnson in the house.
Kelvin Troy Johnson.
Kelvin Troy Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
So why do we add Troy to make sure we put that middle name in there?
You know, I just wanted it to be unique. It's my name. And it's my completeness.
I love it. I love it. Oh, completeness and full.
Completeness, yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, he is with Love Coach Atlanta.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us, what is Love Coach Atlanta, Kelvin?
Okay. Love Coach Atlanta is a dating and relationship platform.
Okay.
We talk about dating, relationships, marriage, divorce, and we connect and go out do live events, do one-on-ones. And it's essentially a meeting place to help people to find the love they're looking for.
Wow. So tell us a little bit, why are you interested in creating this platform and then also have people with you to actually go out and do this?
Yeah. My passion comes from just working with men. So my background and my reason really for doing this is from working with men in the social service background.
All right.
Working with boys, grown men that have coming out of the system, boys coming in and out of the system. I've always found myself in front of men.
Okay.
So if you find yourself in front of men all the time, you hear stories.
Okay.
You hear reasons. You hear secrets. You hear things that are peculiar that most people would never hear and never understand. And so from that, I actually started doing motivational speaking, which I still do now. And I guess by the time they finish hearing me talk, they'll be like, "Oh, that guy's a you know, you can hear it
they know,
comes
they
out."
pick it up. Yeah.
But yeah, and so when I decided to move here to Atlanta, put a pin there because I want to tell you something about that.
Okay.
All right. When I moved to Atlanta.
All right.
So when I decided to move to Atlanta, I had looked at what I had, and I wanted to do something deeper with it.
Okay.
You know, and so I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I would really like to be in the relationship market. I've seen some of the people who were in it, and I was like, for instance, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
At the time, he was pretty big, and I literally sat.
A lot of people don't like Steve Harvey though.
But
the women love.
But guess what? A lot of people do.
Yeah, and I'm one that does.
Because they all bought his books and went to his movies. Yeah. And I was in one of his movies, and I was sitting there listening to this, watching this whole thing. I'm like, I got 15 years worth of understanding how men think. Why aren't I sharing? And that question, why aren't I sharing, kept echoing in my mind.
Well, what gets me is that how I even got connected with you was that it was through Facebook.
Okay.
And you were making posts, or I think you were on some Tinsley, that's it. Tinsley, I am on her. Yes, I am on Tinsley's page, and something sparked where Tinsley had commented on your page, or and so I was like, I clicked on your name, and then I saw who you were, and I was like, I'm interested because I'm single now, and I just got out of a relationship. This was last year, and I'm like, maybe I can learn something, so I went on there and I started following you, and you were talking about some interesting topics, and then it wasn't just that, the people were commenting, and then you were coming back. So then I'm like, hey, I'm going to interject here. So I just put my little opinion in, and then you would come back, and some stuff you supported, some stuff you corrected me on it. But it was so good, and I was like, I've got to stay in touch with this guy. So I'm so excited for you to even be here because you do have a gift. You do have a gift to work with people, and definitely outside of just men. It's definitely women too, because you help us understand how men think, and you don't try to cover it up. And that's so important in today's world because a lot of people are wearing masks and they're trying to pretend there's something that they're not. And then when they go out on this first date, this is the look, and and they got all dressed up and they're all decked out and they're looking really fine. The women looking good too, and it's like, and it's just a facade. And so do something out of the ordinary. So I want to have a question for you.
Sure.
On a first date, what would you suggest for a guy if he's asking a lady out to go on a date? What would be a good suggestion for you for a first date?
So, can I back up this whole idea?
Okay.
Even from the start.
Okay.
I like to start it right. Okay. Because we talk a lot now. Once upon a time, online dating was for weirdos and for desperate people, right?
Yes.
But I always suggest to people, look, if you feel the vibe, have your first date on webcam.
Oh, okay.
Have your first date on video.
Okay, like
on
Facebook
video
or
chat.
FaceTime.
Yeah, video
Okay.
chat or
Okay.
FaceTime or whatever. You
Yeah.
have that date.
Okay.
So everybody's comfortable. You can kind of like feel the person's vibe.
Okay.
And from that moment, you decide if I'm going to waste my time or invest my time
Good point. Good
in
point.
going further with this person. Because some people, like, they could not be right for you, and you just wasted an outfit.
Oh my God!
You
Yes.
wasted your time.
Yes.
And it's
so,
not going anywhere.
I will give you an
from
example.
day
I
one.
went out with this guy one time, and it was, you know what? That is such a wise advice, because I went out with this guy, and he looked great in his picture.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then when we got, it's like he looked like a lot more older, like 10 years older than he really was in the picture, which was fine because we end up networking, because that's usually what I do with the networking, and we'll talk about that too.
If you don't like them, I'll network them.
That's right.
Got it.
Yeah. So I love that idea. So the first thing you should do for the first date, actually do a FaceTime or a video webcam chat.
Absolutely.
Get to know them. Ask them questions. Now, is it okay to ask personal questions?
Yes, but it depends on how personal we're talking.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
like how personal are we talking?
Well, like knowing, you're married for one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Yes.
you shouldn't.
You should know that.
You should know that, and then two, how many children that you have.
Nothing wrong with that.
How many times have you been in a serious relationship? Because a lot of people, they date on and off, but serious relationship.
Absolutely.
And maybe what's the longest length of time?
Those are great questions.
Okay.
I love all of those.
Do you have any other questions that
Yes,
would be
sure,
good?
sure I do.
Okay.
I mean, I could spend the whole time here.
Okay.
But a couple of good questions are, you can have and feel comfortable to ask.
Okay.
Why did your last relationship end?
Okay, that's a good one.
You know?
That's a good one.
And what you're listening for. See, I can slow this down,
Okay.
Robin. What you're listening for is whether they're taking responsibility for what they did, and if it's all about them, and she was a brat, and she, okay,
Yeah.
this is already telling you a little bit about this guy's character
Yeah.
and how he processes in relationships.
That's good. And I will say, I've had people say before, they'll say, why do you defend, your past relationship? Why are you, because you don't want to make them look bad, and you don't
Yeah.
want to make yourself look bad
Yeah.
either,
Yeah.
So, why not be positive and start fresh? And
Yeah.
that's a lot, because some people actually don't want to know anything about before, but give them that opportunity if they feel comfortable with it, then you can go there.
I like
Okay.
your approach, because at the end of the day, it was your choice.
That's right.
Okay.
I love
so
that,
So
yes.
if you want to talk about how terrible they are and what a dastardly individual this is, you have to then say, I chose a dastardly individual.
Okay.
And to be my partner for that time.
All right. What's another good question before we move on?
Okay. Another good question you might want to ask is, and this is a lighthearted question.
Okay.
What are you excited about in your life right now?
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so when a person starts talking about what they're excited about, it's like you're looking for the light up. Okay, you're looking for what makes them happy, what makes them excited, and you need to see that in their eyes. If they tell you, well, nothing really, like they're not excited about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, and try, hey, I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's obvious that they really don't have anything they're excited about.
Yeah.
Now,
I know with me.
Look. A great answer would be seeing you tonight.
Oh,
That's
good.
what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Because I've
okay.
been waiting to see you.
And that sounds really
For a
sweet.
while.
That sounds
Yes.
really sweet. But what about the woman who can be put on like a little cocky facade and think that, oh, God, that's just a pickup line? How would you, if say you say that to a woman, and then she responds and says, instead of going, oh, that's so sweet, she goes, yeah, whatever. So how would you respond
You
to
just
that?
blow it off and keep going.
Okay.
So that's and we don't have time for that conversation, but that's the alpha positioning.
Okay.
The alpha man.
Explain that to our viewers.
The alpha positioning is you don't get rattled because of her responses. As a matter of fact, none of her responses move you whatsoever because you know exactly who you are.
Come on.
And what you're there to do.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever she does or doesn't do, she like you, she don't like you, she finds you hideous, whatever, it's always next.
Awesome.
Moving
really
right
good.
along.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, another topic I want to talk to you about is work dating relationships and church dating relationships.
Okay.
Because, everybody goes to work with people, they go to church with people and stuff. A lot of people don't want to get out in the clubs and, and date that way. They want to meet somebody that's solid and good. And if you work together, then you're getting to know who they are.
Sure.
Or you go to church with them, you're getting to know how they worship or their beliefs. Actually, that's a good point, but what do you think? Because do you think that they're really showing the real person, or do you think that that's good to date somebody that you go to church with or work with?
Okay, so I think work is a little dicey, right? Just make sure that this isn't your superior, okay, or you aren't their superior. At work. Make sure that you guys don't meet at work, like your connection is not. If they work in hospitality on the other side of the building, and you work in executive positioning on the other side, and you guys your worlds don't cross, then that's best, because you have to always think of, what if this doesn't go well? What if the bottom falls out of this, and now we might have a sexual harassment thing going on, or now, or if nothing else, now you have to look at them every day. After
because
what
if it don't
done.
work out, and that's the same thing that goes like with church too. Because say maybe you might be in a Bible study together, or you might sit near each other in the church or whatever, or go to fellowship with one another. But then say you hit it off as friends and stuff, and then you go out and then it doesn't work. You have to show a lot of maturity.
But church I think is different, because church is a voluntary place that's open like the library. Anybody can go. Okay, and you can either see the person or not see. It depends on how the size of the church. But I think church is a great place to find somebody who has like beliefs, because like beliefs keep you together and cause a good bond.
That's good. All right.
So I like church.
You like church.
I like
so
church.
if you go to church, then that's a great place to meet somebody. Then, right?
Yes, it is.
Because you're on the same page, same thinking, same level. So of course you think church. Where's another good place that you can meet out? Okay,
so I always champion this place, and if you're talking about meeting people, one of my main places to meet people is in meetup.com.
Okay, meetup.com. Let me
if you
write
guys
that
don't
down.
know meetup.com, go on meetup.com and see. The idea is that there are people meeting everywhere about almost everything. Okay. So you get together with whatever your passion is. And you get in that environment. You're going to naturally want to be there anyway. You show up to this place, and you already got a connection with the people that are there. They talk to each other before the event comes. They're having to introducing themselves. So by the time you land in the event, you see John over there, and you've been talking to John, and now you have this thing that you both are interested in. For instance, I play piano. Okay. And there's even here in Atlanta, there's an Atlanta piano meetup. I mean, these guys are serious. Like, they're not like me. But I love it, but these guys are like super passionate about it, and you know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's a great connection, a great place, and having something that you really are passionate about and having that in common really causes that an even stronger bond.
All right, let's talk about this. So we talked about those dating sites and such, and so meetup.com is a great dating site.
It's not a dating site.
It's not a dating
meetup.com is for anybody who wants to be in the environment of the thing that you're passionate about. So it's regular meetings.
So are you pro dating sites?
I am.
Okay.
It's the biggest way people are meeting.
I agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
definitely.
Even Facebook has even started a dating site.
Yeah. Facebook's gonna ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
They're the 800-pound gorilla.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's jump ahead a little bit because I want to talk about some cheating, some trusting, some loyalty. So let's say we meet at meetup.com or we meet on a dating site, and it seems like the relationship is hitting it off. We got a spark going and everything and such, but then there's some of these red flags. Can you kind of give us some pointers for men and women to recognize red flags when maybe it could go south? Maybe they're actually in a relationship. Maybe they say, "Oh, you know what? I'm single," and we're like, "Are you still married?" And they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm still married, but I'm single. I'm separated. We've been separated for wherever, how long, But then red flags start sparking because who knows? He could be still living with his family.
True.
Or he could be shacking up with somebody, or she could too. It could go both ways. So what are some red flags to notice when somebody actually is involved with other people?
Yeah, I love this question. So I was on Facebook, right, and I saw something that I said I'm going to grab this. So the question is not, are you single? The question is there someone in their lives in your life who thinks that they're in a relationship with you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that right there is a great question to ask. Is there somebody in your life who thinks that they're in a relationship with you? You might say you're single, but do they think that they're together with you?
Exactly.
And
so it needs to be clear.
Yeah, that makes it crystal clear. Because that's a different question than are you single?
That's right. That's good. That's good.
So a couple of other things. I did a show. I have a YouTube show called Secrets of the Mind of a Man. Right. And on this
it's a great show, by the way.
Yeah, I talk about the 5 red flags that you absolutely can't ignore. Right. And as I think about it, one of those flags is watch how the person treats someone who can't do anything for them.
Oh, that's good.
The person at the waiter, right? How do they talk down to the waiter or like talk smart to the person at the fast food restaurant? Give me my food, or just drive off and don't even say anything. Like, watch how they treat other people.
Okay.
Because it's just a matter of time before they treat you in that same kind of way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's another one? So
another red flag is, and this is like if you're getting to know the person, you guys are getting it off. I always bring this one up. We're getting close to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It's family time to sit down, go to the table. We go to Big Mama's house.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Does he bring you to his family? Okay? And not just his family, the female members of his family.
Oh, okay.
Like, have you met Aunt Rose?
Yeah. Okay.
Have you met Big Mama?
Okay. Now, how long should you be together? Because I went to a speed dating event one time, and I was very impressed because I had questions. I asked somebody, I said, what would be the best second date? What would you say is the best second date with someone? And all the guys said different things because I said the first date is supposed to be the best, but the second date is supposed to be even better because first dates aren't always, impressionable as much. So they try to be impressionable. But one guy got my attention because he said, to meet my family. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of pushing it. But he was like, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm not looking to play games. And so I want to know if you're going to fit in with my family. What do you think about that?
I think you should run.
Really?
I think you should run because a person who wants to immediately introduce you to his family, he's got an ulterior, he's got a motive. Like,
okay.
He might be illegal, y'all.
He might not.
Right? No. He might be illegal, and he need to hurry up and get a wife. Why are you in such a hurry to skip all the steps to get up to meeting your family? I don't even know you. Why would I want to meet your family? Okay. No. Yeah. I'm not meeting your family until I'm absolutely comfortable that this is even worth getting to know and putting myself in the position, because when they see you show up, they're waiting. Next time they're looking to see you is at what? The wedding.
So how long should you wait before actually meeting the family?
When you are absolutely comfortable. There's no time limit. It could be 6 months. It could be 2 years. But it's all on your speed. And so that brings me to another point. Don't let people push you into something you're not ready for.
Okay.
If you don't feel it in your gut, if you don't feel like this is something, like this could be it, then don't let them push you into this is it. And then now you'll feel like oh, I guess I should go forward, and it's going too fast. And there's some things, there's some signs that come in time.
Yeah, because I will say this, a shout out to my little baby brother, and he, me and my sister were very protective over him, and he dated different women throughout the years and such, and he always brought them around. They always come around, and we would get attached to them. Yeah. We'd fall in love with these women, and then the one that he ended up marrying, who was the love of his life, he never brought her around until he was ready to know that we were going,
That's right.
So that, I see your point there.
Yeah, I got a phrase for you guys to remember. Check this out. Okay. Time never lies.
Wow.
People lie.
Yes. Okay.
Trump lies.
All right, no politics today. All about love today. All about love today.
Time never lies. People lie, but time never lies. If you give it enough time, everything will be revealed.
All right. Gosh, this has been so amazing.
Yes.
Oh, my God. We're going to come back in just a few moments. And at the end, also, we're going to come back and talk. Okay? This is Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward Robin Show. I am so excited to be here with Kelvin Troy Johnson himself, Love Coach Atlanta. He has some great insights about relationships. If people want to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you?
They can connect with me on Love Coach Atlanta everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Love Coach Atlanta, or Kelvin Troy Johnson everywhere, lovecoachatlanta.com. We're making it happen. Got live events. Got one coming up this Saturday.
Yes. Is this the exciting thing?
This is the exciting one. We're very excited. It's called Women, Wine, and Love Songs.
Women, Wine, and
It's a women's event. It's a women's event. And we're bringing in, women are going to have conversation over wine. I got my girl T. Marie. She's the author of No More Boyfriends.
Okay.
And she's going to be leading the ladies. And I'm bringing in a panel of single men to come in and share their ideas and thoughts on love.
Now, where is the location of this?
This is going to be at the Sheraton.
The Sheraton.
At the Sheraton in Atlanta.
Awesome.
Downtown Atlanta, Cortlandt Street.
Make sure if you got a flyer, we'll put it into
I do. Of course I do. And I got a guitarist. This guy's going to sing romantic songs, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Girls' night. Girls' night.
It's definitely a girls' night.
Awesome. Well, guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break, and we will talk to you soon. Welcome back, everyone. This is Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward Robin Show, and I'm so excited. I'm here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network. We're at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia. It's already been an amazing show. We've been talking to Kelvin Troy Johnson about many things, about love and relationships, cheating, all kinds of things. And now we're actually going to talk to a new guest, which is Crux Conception. I'm so excited to have him on the show, and he is going to share with us about his story and what he's come from and what's exciting going on with him. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes,
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here.
Yes.
So before we get started, I want you to tell the viewers, if you could speak up and tell us who you are today before we talk about who you were before.
Okay.
So let's talk about today.
My name is Crux Conception. Well, that's my business name. It's a pseudonym for crisis intervention. I was thinking about making the symbol like Prince did, but it'd be too confusing.
Yeah.
So, just change it to just Crux Conception.
Okay. So tell us what you do, Crux.
Well, retired law enforcement, 24 years. A PhD candidate. Hopefully, I'll be Dr. Crux Conception soon with any help from the man above. And I'm an internationally known speaker. I speak across the world, U.S., Europe, everywhere.
I love it. And you were actually, when I met you, you were actually in Hungary. Yes.
Budapest.
Yes.
Hungary.
He was
Hungary.
in Hungary
Yes.
in Budapest, and we met through Messenger, and we connected, and we started off as just great friends. We did Kelvin was talking about FaceTiming, and we did the FaceTiming thing, and it was cool, and we just became awesome friends.
Exactly.
And I love the fact that I know your story, and that's why it's so important. I wanted you to be able to come here and be able to share a piece of your story, because your story goes deep. Because the last time you were on my show, we didn't go as deep because you were still on the law enforcement team. You were still working for the state of Indiana.
Yes.
So now that you are officially retired, we can let everything out of the bag.
Yeah.
So with you being an international speaker, that's an amazing thing that you're doing. Being a PhD candidate, that's even more amazing. But what to me is so amazing is that you have a story to share.
Yes.
And you've got an upcoming book. It's called, you titled it, Outside My Mind, Corruption Behind the Blue Wall.
Yes.
I want you to explain to the viewers, what is the blue wall?
The blue wall is a terminology used throughout law enforcement. It's that wall. You may see it on vanity plates when you're driving your vehicle and you have an oncoming car, and the vehicle has that blue strip, and it's black here, and it's a blue line here. That symbolizes the blue wall, and it's a symbol. It's a symbolization for law enforcement unity. It's been around for ages, but it's a symbol of law enforcement.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you've stated that each title of the chapters is going to be an introduction to the title of your next book. So
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many chapters are you going to be creating in your book?
10 chapters.
10 chapters. So
Yes.
there's going to be a future 10 books.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty big. So that means you got a big story to share.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about, because you went through some things. You went through some depression. You went through a loss of family members and such. So let's talk about really quick, what was the corruption behind the blue wall that led up to this?
Well, it was when I was June 14, 2017, I was arrested. But unbeknownst to my doctor and myself, at that time I was prescribed some medication for my back, and the muscle relaxer is known to cause bipolar effects in individuals. And for some reason, I just wanted to get in my car. My life was good. I mean, I was working on my PhD, my wife at the time, and I just bought we built a brand new house, just got married. Life was good. I mean, just got moved to homicide detective again. And everything was good, but all of a sudden I just felt like I needed to die. And so I was found unresponsive in my vehicle June 14, 2017, approximately 3 a.m. And what happened was that our protocol states that if anyone is has a expressing mental illness and as a desire to be a threat to themselves or others, which I was at that time, and I was stating I wanted to die and I wanted to kill myself. I was going to the park to blow my head off.
So what brought that up, though?
What brought that up? We don't know. I mean, who knows? Like I said, I don't want to blame the medication, but the medication is known to cause bipolar effects in individuals. Again, I was the only stress that I had in my life at that time. It wasn't only stress but my daughter was arrested, and I said I didn't want to pick her up. They kept calling me to come pick her up. I was in hostage negotiation training. Come pick her up. No, let her go to jail. Come to find out, she cooperated with police, and they accused her of being a snitch. And some girls dragged her out of her part-time job and beat her up. Then I found out she was a victim of a sexual assault 2 weeks later. And my family, knowing me and know how I flow, knew better than to tell me that at the time, because I would have took matters into my own hands. But then I found all that out, and that was stressful. But at the time, my daughter and I had a strained relationship, and I just felt like I was the worst father in the world and wanted to blow my head off and kill myself. So
you fell down in a despair moment.
Exactly.
Of you just like, it's the end of the world for me, because, you know, I could not make things better, and I felt like I was worthless. And there's so many people that are watching this today that behind closed doors, they're feeling that same thing. And the thing is, you didn't feel that way, but the mixture of the medicines and then the incidents that's happened and taken place with the family member, it's like all crashed in, and it all caused this exposure of depression to step in. And so tell us what happened next.
Well, then I think, and the one thing I'm grateful for to this day is that no one got hurt, because I got in my car and I literally to this day didn't mean to get into my unmarked police car. I thought I was in my personal car, because to this day I can see myself pushing the sunroof to my Jag so I can let the air come in and keep me awake, so I can be awake enough to go to the park to kill myself. And I passed out at the wheel. My car drove off and hit a curb, and a citizen called it in. I had the Indiana law enforcement badge in the back of my unmarked car, signifying that it was a municipally owned vehicle. He called, cops came running, lights and sirens. To my understanding, it was state, county, city, everybody and their mom was coming. The part that confused me the most was, I stood tall. Matter of fact, I asked to be taken to jail. I said, do what you got to do. At the same time, being a guru of crisis intervention and suicide prevention, I knew that I thought I was going to get help. And that's where the corruption came in. And mind you, I fought hard. I really fought hard not to say the word corruption, because those are fighting words. That's like saying to a black man the N-word. You know, those are fighting words. If I say a police department is corrupted, then they got to come at me, and that's poking the bear. And if they come at me for using that, then fine. But I have a cloud drive, 14 gigabytes full of documents, voice recordings, recordings of conference, that I plan to put the link in my book for people to see, because as a law enforcement officer, one thing I know, there's always two sides to the story, and somebody's telling a lie, but I'm out here, but I'm putting the truth out online.
So with that being said, you know, what is your purpose for becoming the author and writing this particular book? Because your story is so impactful, and you're choosing to be transparent, to come to, you know, to make your voice known, to share. So what's the whole purpose behind this?
Chapter 3 is called Secrets Behind the Blue Wall, and what it does is, it gives insight. I mean, we've had a lot of things that I've never paid attention to, because I was always that yes man, that house man, that field man, you know, we sick boss, we sick type of thing. I was that type of individual. And now that I realize and I see things clear, there's ways of, somebody once told me it's hard to sue a police department, and it is, because they hide, and notice I say the word hide. They hide behind a word called the color of blue, color of blue shield, or the color of the blue, and it's the blue law, and it's hard to sue it. But in my book, it gives mothers, it gives sons, it gives fathers, daughters, no matter what race, no matter what economical background, it gives them an insight on what to do to protect themselves when they see injustice.
So what you're doing is you're trying to make a purpose with that, to bring awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I don't want whatever happened to me happen to anybody else. But in reality, it happened. Things like this happened to me a long time ago. I just never paid attention to it.
Okay.
So now I feel like I have a voice and a platform.
I love it. I love that you're utilizing your voice.
Yes.
So, but let's talk about the book a little bit more, because I know with the book, some of these chapters that you have, I know that there's got to be some juicy parts in the book that's going to reveal these secrets behind that blue wall. So, one of the chapters that you have, we already discussed about the secret behind the blue wall, but another chapter, which is chapter 7. Tell us a little bit about that chapter.
Okay, before I say that, I want to say that I said something, don't judge me or don't criticize me, emphasize with me. Chapter 10 is entitled The Man Upstairs. And that shows my change in life, how I woke up one morning, I just start crying and praying to God. And God was my therapist. I sat and it talks about how you use God as your therapist. You could sit in a car and you just talk. Don't pray, just talk.
Yeah.
And when you realize at the end of your conversation, you have a conversation with God, and God's your therapist. And that's what helped me.
Amen. I believe that.
And I believe that more. I believe that more than medication, more than anything. But chapter 7 is titled Swingers Matrimony.
Okay.
And
Break
that's
that
how,
down.
That's how I met my wife.
Okay.
It was through a swingers website. And I write the book not to put it out there, put the juiciness out there, but I want to be, and I'll see everybody out there going, oh, got their ears open.
Yeah, the
wait
audience.
till the book, just wait till the book come out. Okay, and so it's how my wife and I met, and it shows the bad decisions I made, because she was married at the time that we met, and I met her and her husband and at a restaurant, and things didn't go that way, but then she later got divorced, and then we met, and then we got married. But it goes to show how bad I wanted to be in love, and how bad I wanted to be loved. And it shows the bad decisions that we all make as human beings, in wanting to be loved and be accepted. And again, it's not to smash anybody or trash anybody, because I'm putting my own dirt out there.
Yeah.
You know, but it goes to show that, wow, okay, now I see why these things happened. You know, I see why I'm not married anymore. I see why she slept with my best friend. I see why we used to hook her best friend, whose husband is dying of stage 4 cancer, up with 3 of my friends.
Wow.
You know, and we did that, and we walked through life carefree. And it goes to show that that's why it took me a while to see this, and it's not that God did this and God punished me, made me lose everything. I used to believe when people said God had a purpose for you, I used to be like, man, whatever. I make my own purpose, you know, but now I believe, you know, I woke up 2 months ago kneeling and crying, and God got a purpose for me.
That's awesome. That's amazing, Crux. So also, let's talk about, you talked about the man upstairs. So the thing is, and then about the swingers matrimony and behind the blue wall, because you are exposing yourself, like you said, you're uncovering your own dirt. So you're not bashing anybody.
No.
That's not the whole purpose, but your purpose is to encourage, to help somebody learn, you know, the men, the women, the children, to be aware of things that go on but with mental health issues, because that's when you travel internationally, that's some of the topics that you speak about as well, and that's so important. So this book is going to be big, and it's going to have 10 chapters in it. And so when will this book be released?
That's the key question. Right now, I'm like, I said before, I'm like,
you're a perfectionist, because you want it to be
I'm
just
like
right.
When I was a federal agent, I had a special agent in charge, and he always said, answer the question for the reader. So I'm going over it sentence by sentence, and I'm making sure I answer every question in each sentence for the reader.
Okay.
And plus, I'm looking, if anybody's out there, I'm looking for someone to help me promote this video through promote this book through a video promo. I've been searching and searching
a lot of people.
for individuals out there, but I need to find that right niche.
Yes.
Because again, there's one chapter in that book that makes you think it's sleazy, but the rest of it's dark, and then there's a shining light at the end, and that's the end where God's my therapist.
I love the fact
God's my
that you say
psychologist.
that.
He's my, he's my, psychiatrist.
And what's so amazing, because there's people that are watching this show today, and they're listening to this story, and they're talking about, you know, you've got this huge platform, and how you travel internationally, and how, you know, you used to work for the police department and be a profiler, you know, for social media, and it used to be really big. You used to do all these different things, and now you are taking your experiences and you're laying it out on the table for everybody to see your dirt, as you said, but it's with a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, your motive for this is also, one, to build your brand, but two, to help other people to know that, hey, be aware of what's happening. You know, kind of like what Kelvin was saying earlier, you know, be aware of, you know, these red flags and these signs. So in the business world or in the police force world, they need to be aware of these signs. What kind of signs can you give for that?
For mental illnesses, well, you know what? The funny thing about it is, and that's why I used the word, I wanted to either use the word neglect, negligence, but those words didn't fit. It was corruption, because my incident happened 2 years ago. My weapon, June the 14th, 2017, should a sergeant come to my house and should my wife have voluntarily given all my weapons to them? Yes, definitely yes. I didn't need to have weapons, but it's been 2 years. I haven't had them weapons back. But I've had lawyers trying to say, hey, at least send us pictures of those weapons. But there's been word through information that the weapons have been taken out of the property room by fellow officers, or they've been inadvertently destroyed. And it's been 2 years, and I have not seen those weapons. And law says that you have 14 days from the day those weapons are confiscated to have a trial, and it wasn't 14 days for a trial.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where the corruption, I said, okay. I sat back and said, yeah, this is corruption. Because whatever they wrote in their affidavit to have it in court, 4 months ago, to take it to court, to take my guns away from me in court, has to be a lie, has to be falsification of evidence, because there's nothing that happened.
You are a brave soldier to be able to stand out and to expose yourself, but expose other things that's taking place to bring awareness. And I commend you for doing that, to using that bravery and that boldness to stand forth and do that. So tell us how people can get in touch with you, and then what are some future plans coming up for you?
Well, I'm trying to take a break from speaking, but so many good gigs have popped up that, you know, I mean, I speak in Philadelphia. Actually, I'm going to Philadelphia to do research through a private investigator, because my lawyer told me if it's true, then I can write about it.
Okay.
So I want to verify some things. So there's some things about some characters in my book I need to verify. So I'm going to speak with a private investigator in Philadelphia, and also give a lecture in Philadelphia on how to recruit minorities in the tech field. Then I go to Africa, and then after that I go back to Cluj-Napoca, Romania, a place I love.
Yeah.
And then after that I go to London.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite place. Who I want to go, but I haven't been. But I
And
mean, you're living an exciting life.
Yeah, but then after that, I'm gonna take a break because I need to concentrate. Because I'm looking for a video producer to promote my book, but my goal is to have Dr. Crux Conception, PhD, authored on the book, and that's one of my dreams.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So how again can people get in touch with you?
You can any social media. It's Crux, CRUX, C Charles, R Robert, U Union, X X-ray, space or underscore Conception, C Charles, O Ocean, N Nora, C Charles, E Edward, P Paul, T Tom, I Ida, O Ocean, N Nora. I'm sorry, that's just I'm acting like I'm on the radio calling out a license plate number.
I know,
but it's just phonetically, it's just the way I do it. But you can contact me either way on there, or on Facebook, Crux, or email me, cruxconception@gmail.com. And like we were talking about earlier about the speakers, if you want to know how I'm getting all these gigs overseas, I've been in the game since 2012, but I've been doing it professionally for only a year. And when I mean 2012, I paid my dues. I mean, 2012, I was paying to go to the conference, paying the registration fee, paying to sit and only speak in front of 30 people, you know, and paying my flight, hotel, everything just to speak. And you have to do that.
You do. I
you
can
have
vouch for
to
that.
do that.
Yeah.
But now it's like.
But now you're flowing.
Yeah, I'm looking
you're
at.
Floating above water now.
Donald Trump Jr. is complaining that he only got $50,000 to speak at a college, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's only $50,000. I'm like, okay, but that sounds about right, because the best speakers get $130,000. You know, Pitbull got $130,000 to speak at a. Just think about what Clinton and Obama gets when they speak.
So, well, you're pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
I commend you for stepping forth, stepping out. And I'm so excited that you were able to fit me in because you had a conference that you were here in Atlanta
Yes.
for. And then we worked it out. Well, you could come be on the show. It fell on the same time frame.
God
So
was good.
I'm so excited that
Yeah.
you're here, Stacy.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So guys, this is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward Robin. We'll be right back. I'm
look
going to
for the
have
book.
Yes, look for the book, and I'm going to be right back because we're going to have you join with Kelvin,
Okay.
and then we're going to do some final thoughts. Okay?
All right.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Focus Forward with Robin show. I'm so excited. We've had an amazing show today. We air every second Monday of the month. So if you're interested in being a part of the show and being on the show, if you've got a pit to purpose story, I want to talk to you. We talk about people who have dreams to get out of their stuck. People who actually are in the field of just holding back. And today, my guests have been on this show today sharing their stories about why they do what they do. And that's so important. So welcome back. And you know what? How do y'all feel about being on the show today?
Oh, I feel good.
Listen, these two boys.
Men. You in the South, don't you say boy?
These two men, let me tell you, they didn't know each other, but they do know each other because they're fraternity brothers. They're Qs. Y'all should have heard them during the commercial break with the studio audience. It was so funny and it was so cute. So y'all do your little theme thing.
That's all right. We ain't gonna say no show. You gonna see a hop show now? Holla at me.
Listen, also I want to tell you, are you an entrepreneur who has a pit to purpose story? Maybe you need to connect, and if you would like to be a sponsor, I would love to have you as a sponsor for my show. I'm all the time getting different people that want to come on the show, but also I'm looking for sponsors to keep this show going because the whole point of Focus Forward with Robin is to help build people. Today was all about relationships, all about going through emotions, depressions, being an entrepreneur, rising to your stardom. It was a phenomenal show, and I'm so grateful you guys were on the show. Do you guys have any final last thoughts that you would like to say to help encourage somebody out there that maybe be struggling, especially with Kelvin, with you, with struggling with relationships and how to focus forward, and then you, Crux, to talk about how they can overcome their obstacles and to push forward. Either one of you guys? Go ahead, Kelvin.
Sure. Well, I want to tell you, I'm going to look directly in the camera and tell somebody out there that you are special. Listen, you are special. You are a gift to this world. You could have been born a tree, a butterfly, a roach. You could have been born anything, right? But you were born a human being to live this experience. So you shouldn't be living an experience of pain and suffering and frustration every day and anger and low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. You have to understand that you are special. Yes. So then you find somebody who also is going to follow your lead. Mm-hmm. As you think that you're special, then you start treating yourself special, and then somebody else sees how you treat yourself. Mm-hmm. Then they start treating you like you're special.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
So when you know you're special, you act special. Yeah. You don't just accept it. When they bring you your fries and they're cold, send them back.
Send those fries
Send them back. Say, I don't eat cold fries. Why? Because I'm special. Thank you, y'all.
Yeah. I love that. I love that, Kelvin, because you know what? You do need to know what your worth is. Absolutely. You need to know that you are valuable and that you do matter in society. Yes. This world tries to get us to carry this mask that we were talking about earlier, mm-hmm. and this facade of pretending. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Crux, with you bringing forth exposure and laying yourself before the people mm-hmm. that are on social media and the internet, and just laying this all out, what can you say to somebody that's out there that might be struggling to deal with their own demons?
You know what?
And to focus forward.
I was at a lecture, a conference in D.C., and a gentleman said, how many people thought about writing a book? Raise your hand. Everybody raised. He said, well, what are you waiting for? We all got a story to tell. You all got a story to tell. Start writing it down, documenting it, jotting it down. And that goes for social injustice, too. It explains it in the book what to do. Anything that happens, I teach procedures on what to do during a traffic stop. I teach what to do because sometimes, and I teach people what to do. In my book, I was so paranoid and so disillusional at the time. I often say, if you got a gripe against the city government, do not get a lawyer within the city, because what they do is the prosecutors, defense attorneys, they all hang together. They all go to the bar together or go Christmas parties together. However, do what I didn't do. Get an attorney that's not in your city. Get an attorney that's somewhere within your state that practices Georgia law, Indiana law, whatever the law may be. Get an attorney that practices outside the city. That individual, especially if you got moms, if you got a son or daughter that's in legal trouble, that person's going to fight for you, because that person doesn't have to live in the city. So that person's going to pull that officer's internal affair jacket up, his complaint jacket up, and it's going to put that person's character on stand and when they talk about it. So you've been accused of falsifying a report. You've been suspended for how many times for abuse of force? A local attorney won't do that. Get an attorney outside of your jurisdiction, please. Another thing, when it comes to mental health, I know it, please, if you see someone that's a threat to themselves or others, before anything, call a mental health expert, call a family member. Mm-hmm. Then, if you have to, by any chance, call a police officer or a crisis intervention officer. Make sure you're there. Record the incident. Document it. Yeah. Don't end up like so many other people. And you notice I said don't end up like me. It's about other people, because there's more stories like mine out there.
Yes. And with you saying that, and with Kelvin, with both of you, your platforms and what you give, you teach me and Kelvin how to be real. And then this is exactly what's happening. Crux is choosing to be real. How can you be an encouragement to those? Because Stacey just said it about mental health. What about these men? Because this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. What about these men that have battled this demon within to carry on, a violent temper, and they act out and they respond in ways they shouldn't? What kind of suggestion would you tell them about how to get help for that?
Yeah. So I put up a post this week, and I guess I shared the post of Tyler Perry. The wonderful things that he was doing.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, and he spoke also about like his next thing, that he was going to build a shelter for the women and for the children and for those abused and all of that sort of thing. And in my post, I gave him kudos for being a change maker in those areas. But there was something that was missing in that conversation, and is that there was nothing stated for what we're going to do about the men who primarily were the causes of all of those issues.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm encouraging men to get help. Like the men in your life, I'm trying to tell you something. Almost every man I know needs therapy, because we've been conditioned in certain ways to think certain things, and some of those things have been bad. They've been hurtful, and they say hurting people hurt people.
Yes.
Damaged people damage people. And so I encourage them to listen. If it's not working, and you know it's not working, whatever it is in your life that's not working, it starts with you.
It starts with you.
So get the help. Find a therapist. Therapy is cool. We love therapy.
Yes.
Therapy is going to change your life.
Yes.
And listen, I've been to therapy myself. I'm looking for another therapist to get going. Every man that's listening to this, if you can, find someone that you can talk to in a therapy room or somewhere like that.
Speaking of coming from a woman's perspective, we respect that.
Yes.
We respect the how do you say
authenticity.
that word? Yes, I can say it. Of the men that come forth and they own up to it. That is that's a turn on actually,
Robin,
because we're like, thank you.
Robin, somebody told me they said a healed man is a sexy man.
Yes, exactly. I love that.
That's what they told me.
Yes.
A healed man
That's
is a sexy man.
So I love the fact that you touch
I like
base with that. Get help and and own up to it. It's totally okay.
And I like to say too, from a person that's been on that, from both a professional, educational, and personal experience, what you need to do is I teach active listening. I teach hostage negotiation, active listening, into common everyday talk. And everybody wants somebody to listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, or if you have a child and you're sitting with them, and that therapist makes it seem like you're a patient and you're about money, and they look at their watch and they knock you off, or they block you and like, hurry up all the time. You don't want somebody like that. It took me 3 therapists. Each one made it feel like I was a waste of their time and like, hurry up. And I put that in my book. And I give shouts out to my man, Dr. John Neubauer in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He just sat there and listened and talked, and he's a man of God. And we did this thing that was like therapy. And being a psychologist myself and a study of psychology, I didn't believe in therapy, but I woke up like, whoa, I'm slumped down in the chair. But I leave his office, I'm feeling like I can conquer the world. I can do anything. And it's
That's
called
the kind of therapist you want.
rapid response therapy. But get a therapist that listens and not interrupts.
I love that. I love that. Guys, today has been an amazing show, and I want to encourage you, if you are going through something, silent pain, get the assistance. These gentlemen are facts. I love the fact when I can have men come on the show and they can be transparent, because women need to learn from you guys, just like you need to learn from us, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah? All right. So this has been an amazing show, and I thank you so much for taking the opportunity to come on here and share your stories, your Pit to Purpose stories. Yeah. Guys, if you would like to be in touch with me, you can reach me, because I didn't even talk about myself. I talked about y'all about how to get in touch.
You talk about yourself all the time.
You can reach me on Facebook under Focus Forward Robin Shockley, on Instagram as well, and YouTube. And I would love to be able to connect with you. Guys, remember, if you think a thing, you're going to believe a thing. If you believe a thing, you're going to definitely achieve it. This is exactly what these guys are doing here today. We're out. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Mm-hmm.